Next, we're going to be taking on the goblet squat, which is, in my opinion, the most essential of all squatting variations, second only to the bodyweight squat, which I want to make sure that you have some familiarity with. So this is what it should look like. It's going to look a little bit different based on your leverages and based on your build. So you can't try to make it exactly like mine, but what you do want to make sure of is that you're maintaining a nice flat back, just like you would for the deadlift and the swing. And what you don't want to do is this business. Now, if there's no weight in your hand, that's not actually a big deal, but we are going to be training with weight. You also don't want your knees caving in. Even if you don't have weight, it's just really hard on the knees. A great way to learn this is you're going to pretend like you have something in your hand, not too wide, okay? You want to make sure that you have a more reasonable stance. It might be a little wider than mine, but what you're going to do is pretend like you're putting something on the ground, and then your hands are going to touch your knees, and it is naturally going to point your legs in the right direction. They're not going to plie outward. They're just going to end up exactly where they should be, which is tracking the toes, okay? Once you've done this, you could do weight, you could do it with no weight, but make sure that your technique looks good, which includes a flat back. Then what you can do is you can pick the kettlebell up and repeat. But there are a couple ways to do this. One of them would be deadlift, and then just kind of bring it up into position like this, okay? Not a bad idea, that's number one. Number two would be, boom, you just pull it up like that. But you want to be very careful of your dentistry for obvious reasons. Now, when you get to the bottom position here, what you'll notice is that in addition to all the technique points from earlier, like my knees are tracking my toes, my low back is staying flat, I'm also letting my elbows touch the inside of my knees. This is what makes this a really great variation, is that it teaches you how to keep your legs and your knees in the right position, and it does so with tactile feedback. So there's not a whole lot of complicated cueing and other thoughts you have to keep in your mind. You can just focus on the movement itself, all right? Once you have done this for a few reps, then of course you can set it down, and you're going to want to make sure you set it down safely. I recommend deadlift, and you are good to go.